interesting, and I had an interesting conversation earlier, and I thought, this is something that we can do. This is something we can do. So let me fill you in on the details of this. And the conversation was around destructive thoughts and feelings, um, seeing negative emotions as destructive thoughts or feelings, and not being okay with oneself feeling all of those things. Now, this is almost every conversation that I'm having right now, is this conversation. And the leap to the new paradigm entails us going down into a very deep state, a very deep state within ourselves where I'm going to speak in stories, okay, because in other traditions, and particularly I'm thinking of India, there is a sect of tantrics that are called the Agori. And the Agori are very, you can say they're the death oriented, or the ones that stand on the periphery between life and death. And so there's some intense practices that are bringing into their mind the knowing that all things are sacred. And a reason why this hasn't been, of course, well known in my mind is because the same actions could be taken by someone else without a perspective or consciousness of the holy, and it makes it a completely different thing altogether. So speaking with someone about owning and loving one's space that you don't own and love, right? Attitudes and emotions that we wish we didn't have. And so if we recognize that our total beingness is a combination of a positive and a negative pole of energy. Our body is made up of a negative and positive pole of energy. And it's just like a battery. It's running just like a battery. So like that, we have an emotional body, which in India we call the koshas. They're like body layers. So every body layer has this same circuitry. It's just in finer and finer print, if you will. So owning that emotionally, we have positive polarity and we also have negative polarity, which sometimes shows up as what we want to call negative emotions, the ones that we don't really like or want to feel, some of which are destructive to us. So when we consider that we need both positive and negative polarity in order to evolve ourselves, in order to go to the next level, that means positive and negative forces must be present. So we get to decide then masterfully, okay, if I don't want to destroy myself, even though destruction is part of the creation process, there's always creation and destruction, creation and destruction. So if we choose now what we do or do not want to destroy, and we instead utilize that energy toward something else, okay? And I'm speaking to if you're watching this, I'm speaking to you, that there's a handful of folks or more that are working with this layer of reality, and our attention on it will transform it. And I did a little wordplay in the title. And yeah, I meant to do that. I meant to do the wordplay because this formula is applicable. So this is the aware people I'm representing for you. So as you plug in and say yes, this is the aware people on the Earth evolution path that knows, like sees what the next place of reality is going to, which is a turn into like a beautiful space, that there is power in the ability to take ourselves in a deep state and honor destructive forces within, right? Do you follow me? I'll say it more clearly, but just sit with that for a moment. Because there are forces that are combined forces that are nowhere in equality to the conscious beings on this planet. Only they are harnessing, I mean, the conscious people are too. I'm just making a particular shout out to the honoring of all the ways that something can process through, the honoring of all the ways. And there is an honoring in life and death. There's an honoring in both polarities, right? Okay. This has not all been as clear as it could be, but I'm feeling that is what is wanting to come through. So if you got that thread, cool. Otherwise, I'd just like to sit for a moment with you and just feel into this here and now. And with you, with me, tune into your life force energy, the force of your life. And breathe into that life force and feel it expand. And feel it come to hug you on your exhale and expand again on the inhale breath. And feel how far your field of love and life extends beyond you. Can you feel it reaching a little beyond your body, a lot? Feel what your sphere of influence is. Anyone who might influence is in your sphere. And as you breathe, just feel your love, life energy expand into the spheres with those in your realm, so to speak, those in your caretaking. And then expand again to go all over the entire area where you're living, the state, the country. Feel yourself inhabiting and present here and now. Yes, I am on this earth. Yes, I am in this reality, on this earth, in this body. And as we do this, become aware that many of us, many of us have our feet down to the earth and are here present together at this time, at this very particular time in all of the time continuum here. Think of those who have gone before and haven't made it to this part. And what a big giant space it is. Feel those beings who have played their parts well in the old cycle, really taking things down a really heavy road. Feel how they have played that part well in taking us deep, deep, deep away from our full joy and freedom. And feel how much that pulls on the heart to acknowledge and feel that. And still, though, we can honor that deep state of beingness that was pulling at the hearts of humankind away from the now, away from the full power, which is in the present moment. So our deaths and our, all these things are taking us, the educational system, the way in which healing has been approached. This is all very linear instead of exponential in a quantum moment, which is truly where we exist. So feel us moving and shedding through the cycle that contain those old paradigms as the leading paradigms, the ones which we would travel with till we got here to this point. And so at this point, feel how literally the movement into the new era is destroying those agents of the old deep dark, because that's simply the part of the cycle we're on. And us knowing that together rolls this thing out. So just a quick moment, an extended quick moment for planet Earth, knowing planet Earth, seeing planet Earth, all of planet Earth's inhabitants, knowing this is a giant evolutionary leap. We always seem to go back, stepping a little before we leap forward. That's what a growth spurt looks like. And humanity is doing this little backward step first. But we are just getting ready to slingshot forward through a massive new beginning. So feel yourself receiving that. And seeing this reality, releasing and letting go of, with gratitude, those pieces of the puzzle. It is their time to shift out. It is time. Thank you. That will do. Moving into the new.